Well, what a lovely morning, and I'm bringing you down here for a purpose. I've had to strip carpet off the stairs. The dog chewed a hole in the bottom of the stair. Not bracken, the new one, Star. I've had to rip that up, clean it all up and get it ready for the carpet fitters, school run and get other chores done at home. But now I'm free to take you guys to a new location harvesting hiking sticks. Now you might just see a house up there in those trees. That's the farm, and we're going to be going basically in this hedge that runs through the bottom of this valley all the way down to a massive woodland. Now in there, that's where I'm going to start harvesting. I've got permission, it's a permission cut. I've been saying I'm going to go there, but even though it's kind of, the sun isn't very high at the moment, it's going to be nice weather. I can get on the ground and harvest in there. As you can see, it's going to be very damp and boggy because basically with a valley, it's the bottom of a hill, all the water runs there. So that's what's kept me out of it up until now. So I'm going to get my stuff loaded and we're going to get over there. Ironically, my other cutting area, I've just been told he's trying to get another guy to come and help me and him, and he wants to take that hedge down. So I've got to get over there and do one last cut. Then that'll be it for me for probably 5 or 6 years to cut there. So it's going to be a lightweight cut because it's back to how I traditionally or normally cut, which is basically walking into a location a long way from the car. So you harvest and then you've got to bring back to the car. It's time consuming, it's hard work, and if I'm to get 10 or 12 pieces, you know, that is considered a good harvest in one session. I can't spend all day doing it as per normal, so it's going to be a cut and come back. That's why when it's cutting season, you usually find people in my position will go out and cut, come back, and every few days keep going through the season, unless, you know, you've got a bigger and better kind of setup where you can dedicate days to it. I can't, so if I come away with 12 pieces I'll be happy, and obviously because it's on my doorstep I'm just going to keep going back till the date arrives, which is the end of the cutting season, and it's bird nesting season then. So I'm going to get my tools and we'll get over there. But I do car share, like the point I always make, and I've got to get the car back by 12. So like I said, I've done everything I need to, so I'm free for just a few hours. So there's what I've got so far for this season. I've still got a long way to go to get to where I want. I want it all the way along the floor there in a square with that door frame. So I have a good many cutting sessions to go, particularly if it's only going to be an hour or two here or there. Like I said, 12 sticks, possibly another trip down, 22 sticks at a time. That's why I love that field location, because I get so many well, I can come away with 50 pieces on a good cutting session. I've just got the Valhalla model, the one that's been kicking around forever. I did actually get all the Viking artwork done on that. You can't really see it that well because it's gloomy in here. I gotta get my stuff. I need overalls. Gotta get some gloves and some tools. I am still straightening there. That it's a lightweight cut, so there. Machete. Where's my loppers? Oh, they're not up on the wall. Oh, there they are. I was in here cutting bits of wood to length. Right, let's get to the car. Right, this lane is quite rough I'm going down. It is basically an old farm track. It's not serviced with tarmac or nothing, so you're going to be wobbling around. But this is where I've got the tree that I can harvest, so I've got that to do at some point as well. But I was just thinking, if I struggle with transport before the end of the cutting season, I'll just come up here and cut, stack, and then bring it back home, you know, as and when I've got access to the car, or when I can dedicate access to the car. There's a load of windfall branches here. I might actually ask if anything's happening with them. Better than it sitting there and just rotting away. Right, I'm nearly down here. Well, I've got to carry on down through the yard to get to the cutting location to the bottom of the valley, but he did say check out his back garden. I'm obviously not going to film in there because obviously privacy and all that, but he said that there could be some sticks in his hedge there. But yeah, a nice day. Sun's just beginning to come, as you can see. It's quite strong actually, but it is chilly. It's only 1 degree. It's nice to see some blue skies with the amount of rain we've had. Right then, let's get kitted up. Right, there's some nice straight hazel there, some heavy gauge ones. And as I look down through this hedge, there's a few I can be, well, starting to harvest now before I make my way down into the valley. Right, this is more of a traditional harvest, like I was saying. There is quite a bit here actually I can get. It's just getting the right size. So I'm going to just play around and select some that's going to work for me. But that's what I was saying about that other field I harvest from. There's just so much of it there. I don't have to really select everywhere I look. There's a few pieces, but this is pretty much not as managed a hedge as the ones I've been harvesting from in the other field. Right, it's looking like all the early bulbs are starting to come out here. Obviously the sun hits this hedge, but there's a few pieces. I can see one there I'm going to have, and this one here. It may look like there's loads to choose from, but like I said, it's going to be harder work to get the amount I want from this type of hedge. So I've kind of worked down here, and I've got about 6 or 7 pieces, but I'm going to try this little clump here before I head on down in the valley. Now if you look at that, you'd think I've got plenty to pick from, but it's either too small or too big, or it's too crooked to even think about straightening or make it worth my while. So there is slim pickings here. I don't think I'm going to get anything from here. Yet again, not a lot on offer for me as a stick maker here. But all this ivy and stuff like that is perfect for birds and bird nesting. And I've got an audience, and I don't think they're YouTube subscribers. Right, that's what this sun is absolutely blinding, and it's getting quite hot on the back. So I gotta work my way up through here. In stark contrast, you get in the shade, you can see the frost is still hanging to these leaves. Right, I think I've had all I'm going to get from that back hedge there. Right, that's what I've harvested in here so far. I think I'll have to get that back to the car to start with before I go anywhere else, because it does look like there's a bit of weight with that. Like I said, this is an old school farm. And basically where we're heading to is down here. Try not to fall over in all the mud. There's a farm across the valley. Basically down there. And if you follow that hedge at the bottom of this valley, it would go to, well, my back hedge. So as I walk down this valley, this is kind of a bit of a recce for me. I do know this stretch of hedgerow. It's extremely wide. It's separated by a stream that runs down the middle of it, and I can see a huge part of it's flooded. No surprise to the amount of rain we've had. Yeah, so I'm recceing this. It is close to me, so obviously I can harvest at will here. But it takes a lot of work, and this is what a traditional harvest for me would be like, where, you know, 10 to 12 pieces a session would be, for me, considered a good harvest. Go home, come back another day for an hour or so, and continue my harvest like this. I have, you know, been totally spoilt beyond belief with that other location, but like I said, I've got to return the favour for the few years of having sticks by helping him cut that hedge down. So it is coming to an end. He's threatened for the last few years, but it's kind of always gone by the wayside. But it looks like it is going to happen now. Right, I can see cattle have been converging under these trees, but I've got to find my way down to the lower levels here. Right, I've just come down the field, and you hit a bank, and we've got to get down here. That's where we're going, down in amongst all that, and that's where I'm hoping I will be able to harvest some good sticks. Basically, one's reaching for the light or fighting to get to the light, so they grow straight and true and strong. Right, we're going to go through this gap without falling. Right, and we're going to have a look in amongst all this. So you might think I'm wasting my time, but I'm not. I'm recceing, and as you can see, there's a hedge there, and that is the hedge that joins mine. All this is super boggy. Further down there, it's totally flooded out for about 50 meters wide between the fields. It does go into a stream and a river. I did a video where I followed this stream from my hedge all the way down to the main river. And that was one of the hardest outdoor expeditions I think I've done in the UK. Unfortunately, it's way back in my catalogue. It's still there, you can see it. But I didn't do it justice. It was like fighting your way through the jungle in Belize. Took a lot of time, a lot of effort. And it was quite brutal on the body. But, yeah, this is extremely difficult going. But I'm here to recce also to do a harvest. I've already, if I go home with what I've got on top of the car, it hasn't been an unsuccessful harvest. So anything I collect now is a bonus. But I'm recceing, so when I come back, I know exactly where I'm going. And I think I'm going to head that way. Right, as I'm walking along here, I am going to try and harvest. I've seen one here, as you can see, that's reaching for the sky. So I can get possibly 2 sticks from that. And this one here. Although I am concerned because it's got something that's rotted attached. The wood's good underneath, but I possibly won't take that one. So I've got one here I can take. Quite difficult terrain. The cows have poached this little trackway. There is actually old historic clay pipe under here, and I think it runs to what would have been the village runoff pipe from all the roads and all the drains back in the day, you know, years ago, before everything got so environmental. And because it's no longer used, a lot of this ground on top of it is beginning to break away. I am still looking for sticks as I move through this area. I've seen some here, and look at those spikes. This is hawthorn I'm contending with in amongst it all. There is some sticks here. I'm starting to get a lot more bigger ones or heavier gauge sticks, and I need to start thinking about getting some. There's one there. I'm going to quickly take that one. Now, as a stick maker, this is quite frustrating. You can see all those, and they're just not of the size just yet. There may be one, but it's just going to be a gold mine here in possibly 3 or 4 years' time. And they're relatively straight, but that's of no use to me now. And to be absolutely blatantly honest with you, I don't know what the circumstances for this place will be by the time these are able to be harvested. Now, the old gentleman who farms this bit of land, he said on many occasions he's getting to the point of retirement. Well, he is actually well past the official retirement age, but I think it's just a case that this is all he knows, and he's grown over the years to love the land and love what he's doing. So you know, long may that continue, and for me as well. But as we know with life, things happen and things change, and quite often for the worst, and you know, speedily. So how long I'll ever be able to keep coming back here, hopefully, if he does retire and a new, you know, tenant farmer takes over, he may be sympathetic to my cause as well. I'm low impact on the land, and I'm not destroying the hedges as I go. And I only ever seek to get sticks from places like this. I don't go to the best hedgerows and start cutting out. I come to the out of the way, you know, in the boggy, in the kind of unused bits of land or difficult to access bits of land, and then my impact is so minimal nobody would ever know I've even cut sticks probably. But I'm monitoring the time. As I said at the beginning of the video, I don't have a lot of time. You can see I have harvested a few as I've gone along, but I'm walking into the sun. It's very hard. There is sticks I can, you know, I've done a bit of a recce on this part, but there's low. The fields go all the way up to my place, and it's all ground like this, difficult access. There's sticks, but I've got a long way to go back to the car just with this bundle yet. I'm looking at a few more I can take at the moment. Right, I found a stand of about 3 sticks, and I think this will be my final cut. That'll probably give me 8 or 10 pieces that I've got to lug up through this steep valley, get through that mire, get over to the car or up to the car, strap it down and get home, so that the car can be allocated for another purpose, not just me and stick harvesting. But it's been a productive harvest. I've come away with probably 20 pieces. I've recce'd this. There is more down here, but I need to go left and right of this bit that I'm working here. It's difficult. It's true bushwhacking in the sense of you're having to push through and work hard to get the sticks. These sticks haven't come easy. I'm expelling a lot of energy and a lot of time to get them. But yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, if you're a stick maker like me, you have to take what you can get. I don't have access to vast country estates where I'm allowed to harvest the best and in the best and easiest locations. This is it for me. That other field, that's why I keep saying it, why I keep going on about it. It's been like nirvana for me having access to that field. This is what I traditionally do, what you're seeing me do here today. which has a river either side of it. Down there where we'll go next time, it's absolutely flooded out in some parts, 50 metres wide on the low ground. All the foxes, squirrels, deers use that flat hedge as a highway from the wood, which is like another half a mile down through the valley, to come back up here into this sort of like area. At night you can hear the foxes travelling up from the forestry, particularly during mating season, as they're crying and bellowing. So yeah, it is quite nice. It's a nice little area I live in here. But as a stick maker, lugging up, I know I've got 8 or 9 sticks here, heavy gauge ones, which I'm getting to the point I don't need heavy gauge ones like I said to you anymore. I need lighter, medium size. It's hard going, it's hard work. And that leads me to realise why there is a demand for people to buy green cut sticks, because as you get older this kind of thing becomes not only less appealing, your ability to do it kind of drops off. So I've got roughly 20 pieces there all racked on top of the car. I'm quite happy with that, so let's get that home. Well, I've got that nice warm fuzzy feeling of getting more stock in the rack. For 2026, it's got 12 months to dry. So yeah, another harvesting session done. Yeah, it was 18 pieces, not 20 like I stated, but that's still a respectable harvest for me for a couple hours. It is a lot of work coming up and walking up through that valley and trudging through all that mud. But that is how I started the game, really, and that's pretty much what I've done as a traditional harvest session for me. Where I've been going to that field, which you've seen multiple times over quite a few years now, I've just been spoilt, where I've been able to go to a very small area and extract basically as much as I want on a session. But that's coming to an end, and we've discussed that. So that valley is where I'll be taking you, and we'll be going to a different part. And hopefully, as we go harvesting, we will be recceing it and finding a nice location where I don't have to trudge vast distances up and down, scrabbling in amongst all the vegetation and trees, and then have to go up over the valley to get to the vehicle. It's all part and parcel of it for me, and I do actually strangely enjoy it. I'm out in nature. It is hard work, and this is I always say this is the part of hiking stick making where me as a crafter, I'm actually grafting. I actually have to work to get that hiking stick blanks back home. So if nothing else, I'm getting some exercise. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed coming along in some North Cornish countryside with a nice bit of sun, although there has been a little bit of wind and it's getting chilly now. So I'm going to go in and light that fire. So I guess that's the point. I say take care, stay safe, and I hope to catch you guys on the trail.